and emotionally strong because we are earning lot of blessings. But on the other side, a healer is also the one who is dealing with pain throughout the day. It's not easy, one after the other. Everyone you meet, they are not just with a disease in their body, but they're also with pain in their mind. Because every time someone is physically uncomfortable, the body is diseased, or let's say in most cases for each one of you, we are coming with some kind of an injury or some kind of an accident, small or big. There is pain in the body. But when there is pain in the body, most people also start experiencing pain in the mind. That means it's stress, anxiety, worry, financial stress because of what we are going to do now. There are so many things on the minds of the people. So, as far as the healer is concerned, every time you are interacting with someone, so even if you're meeting someone for say 5 to 10 minutes in your OPD, and one person who is the one who is diseased or injured is also accompanied by another family member also who may be going through some turbulence in their mind, worry and anxiety. So a healer throughout the day is not just meeting people with the disease, but is also meeting people with minds which are stressed. And so unaware, it's not even there on your mind, but unaware you are receiving a lot of vibrations of pain. They are there in your room, they are there in your hospital. Like during COVID times, we are aware that there is COVID around us, so we're aware the virus could be anywhere near us. And so you have taught all of us how to take care of ourselves. So you taught us the distance, the sanitization, the washing, and the mask. Such simple steps. And if we take these simple steps, each one is protected most of the time. So the chances of any of us getting that COVID is extremely low if we took the best measures. Of course, there is some percentage that it will happen, but chances are very less. Simple protection, physical protection from a physical virus. You taught us that, and life becomes very easy if we follow it all. Similarly, it's not just during COVID times, it's also before that, and it will also be after that, especially in the life of a healer. Especially because every time you are interacting with people, there is an emotional vibration. One is a physical virus. That physical virus enters into my body and it creates a physical disease. The other is a emotional vibration. If the person I am meeting is emotionally upset, hurt, anxious, worried, or stressed, and if I am connecting with them for about 5 to 10 minutes, and if I don't protect myself with the sanitization and the mask and all that's needed on an emotional level, not physical, it's not a visible one. If I don't protect myself, then unaware, that little emotional vibration of the person and their family starts entering into my energy field. My energy field, in the sense, my aura. What is my aura? It's the energy of who I am as a person. My every intention, memory, thoughts, feelings, all our energy is like an energy field, what we call vibrations. When we sometimes say, I didn't get very good vibes from that person, or for someone I said, I get very good vibes from that person. So we all can feel vibrations. So what are vibes? What are vibrations? It's about who the person is here. It's not about who the person is here, what they've achieved, what they've done. It's about who the person is here in their mind. So similarly, when you're treating people, you are also receiving their vibrations. Now, every 10-15 minutes, you are meeting someone, and then sometimes there is a crisis, sometimes there is an accident case, then there is a trauma, a very critical surgery, and there is anxiety around you. Now, if this happens 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, it's very easy to manage. All of us can manage it. But when it happens day after day, and it's a part of our life, unaware, it starts entering into our energy field. And then we start saying, that stress is a part of healthcare profession. Stress is normal for doctors, is what we start saying. And then when you ask a doctor, why do you believe that stress is normal for a doctor. So they will say because of the kind of work we do, it's the crisis we deal with, it's our schedules, we don't have day, night, nothing, sleep cycles are broken. So we think that the cause of the stress is all those. That's a very, very minor cause. That's more something that will create a physical fatigue. As far as doing all the surgeries and everything that you do, most of them you have been doing all your life. So it comes very simple and very natural to you. The cause of the stress is not in what we do. This is the first equation that we need to hold today, because only then we will be able to handle COVID. The cause of the stress is not in what we do. The cause of the stress is how we are here. Stress is never because of a situation. Stress is because of our emotions in that situation. In physics, the stress is a very simple formula. Stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. Stress is not equal to pressure. It's pressure divided by resilience. So pressure is the situation. Yes, we have lots of pressures. So every time you're handling a crisis, a very difficult accident case, it's a pressure. It's a very high pressure. You are dealing with somebody's body, life and death, anything can happen. It's a pressure. There is no doubt about it. But stress is not equal to pressure. It is pressure divided by resilience. Need of the hour to start focusing also on the denominator. Pressures not in our control. Anyways, they were high even before 2020. And then came COVID, the pressure went to another level altogether. Another level altogether. In times when people sitting at home, safe and secure, COVID cannot enter into their houses, even they are creating fear and anxiety. So we can imagine what the pressure is for a healer who has to walk into that space every single day into a hospital. But still, it's a pressure. Still, it's a pressure. We still have a very big factor which is in our control, and that is the denominator, the inner resilience, the inner power of the human mind to face that pressure. You all have experienced it. Hypothetically, suppose you have two patients. This is hypothetical. No two patients are identical, but still, if you have two identical bodies with two identical diseases, and you, the same doctor in the same hospital, give them the same identical treatment, you all have experienced two people do not respond the same way. They do not. So there is one factor, no, which plays a role in the healing, and that factor is also the mind of the person. And that's why you always tell all your patients, relax, don't get stressed. Why do we tell them, relax, don't get stressed? The body is diseased. You are the doctor, and the medicines and the procedure will heal the body. Why do we repeatedly tell them, relax, don't get stressed, relax, don't get stressed? Because we know that their mind is also one part of the healing. So, for those patients who are very stressed, the body unnecessarily starts reacting. Sometimes we get complications, sometimes it takes longer to heal. And those minds who are very calm, very positive, very, very focused, very stable, their body heals faster in most cases. That happens. So, we know the mind body connection. So, as healers, we will have to share with the world in the present time the mind body connection. COVID is not just a disease which hits the body. What is hitting the mind is our anxiety about that disease. And that anxiety then lowers the vibration which we radiate to the body, and then healing, which could have been simpler, unnecessarily gets complicated because we create so much panic and fear and anxiety about the disease. So, the mind body connection. So, who is healing a patient? Who is treating the patient? The doctor, the mind of the doctor, the mind of the patient, the mind of the family of the patient is also very important. If a family of a patient surrenders to a doctor, Doctor Saab, whatever you say is fine, we trust you, everything will be fine, and they have this lot of faith in the doctor, in the system, in the hospital, things just move with ease. And that's why it said faith. Faith can move mountains. Faith is a very big healing energy. Faith in the healer is very important. But if the mind of the family and the patient is very agitated, then we know that it creates certain energies in the treatment also. So, all our minds are also part of the healing. This is something we need to always remember. The doctor's mind, the nurse's mind, the patient's mind, the family's minds, and then the procedure and the treatment. So we need to, as healers, as doctors, we also need to start taking care of our mind and the mind of the people who are working with us, which means our juniors, our assistants, our nurses, our staff, their minds. The energy of a hospital, that also plays a role in the healing. Lot big role the energy of the hospital plays. So now when a doctor is interacting with patients, we need to remember that the patient's vibrations enter into our energy field. We have to protect ourselves, and to protect ourselves, we have to keep our energy field very high. Vibrations always flow from higher to lower. Energy always flows from high to low. Similarly, if a patient's energy is a little disturbed because they're not well, doesn't matter. But if the healer's energy is here very high, then the patient's disturbed energy cannot enter into the healer's energy field, but the healer's energy field empowers the patient. And you all have experienced that when the patient comes to meet you, because you are very calm, you are very positive, you are very detached, and when you talk to them for 5 minutes, they will come out of the hospital and they will say, I still haven't taken the medicine, I haven't yet started the treatment, but after meeting this doctor, I am already feeling little better. I'm feeling very nice after meeting them. I am very certain. My pain has already started reducing after meeting them. There is a lot that happens in a patient doctor interaction, in a relationship, in a communication. So either the patient's vibration can enter into our energy field, or our vibrations can enter into the patient's energy field. One of the two is always going to happen when any two people meet. When any two people meet. So our role is, because we are interacting with patients, we cannot afford to allow their vibrations to come into our energy field. Otherwise, we will start experiencing stress and anxiety. Please remember, stress and anxiety is not because of what you do. That's hardly 10%. That's hardly 10%. Remaining 90%, it's because of the vibrations that you are surrounded with. This is an emotional, invisible infection. It's there in the air and we catch it because we've not done anything to protect ourselves. We've not. So let's start working on raising our vibration. And that vibration is called emotional health. Emotional health. You all are doctors of the body. Then we have doctors of the mind, which is psychiatrists and psychologists. So we have physical health specialists in all fields. We have mental health experts. But now each doctor also needs to be an emotional health doctor, because everyone you are meeting, especially during COVID and even after COVID, you are going to meet a lot of people whose emotional health may not be the perfect emotional health. They will not have a mental health issue, which means they won't have depression or anything like that. But emotional health is disturbed. So this is a third health. There's no doctor for it. There's no doctor for emotional health. Each one of us has to be the doctor for emotional health. So when we understand our own emotional health, then to understand the emotional health of people and to empower them becomes very, very easy. So let's go back to the formula. Stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. Resilience is inner power. Inner power. And I, the healer, am responsible to keep my resilience factor high, so that even if my pressure is very high, if my inner power is higher, my stress will always be low. My stress levels will be low, they will be negligible. I will be very calm and stable. So let me start working on the resilience, the inner power. Even otherwise, we need to do it. But now we have COVID. So COVID is another pressure. It's come into the numerator. And because when this COVID came, you know what we all said together as a society? not just in the country, but also in the world, we said fear and anxiety is normal. Now, this is where emotional health has to be picked up. What is emotional health? My thoughts, my feelings, my emotions in response to every situation. How do I know whether I'm emotionally healthy, emotionally fit, or emotionally I'm a little weaker and I need to work on myself? Simple test. There is a simple test to check my emotional health. Situations and people's behavior. Any situation, random, any situation, people's behavior. If you believe that situations and people's behavior are the cause of your thoughts and feelings, which means you feel in your mind depending on how the situation is. If the situation is perfect, you are happy. If people are working fine, you are happy. If people are listening to you and doing things right, you are happy. Which means if the situation is perfect, you are happy. But if the situation is not my way, if people are not behaving, not working my way, and you believe that getting angry, getting irritated, getting agitated, getting stressed is normal, if you believe it's normal, then it means that your mind, you believe that your mind is dependent on situations and people. This is the one equation of life we all need to change, because this is low emotional health, where my emotions are not in my control, but I believe they are dependent on people and situations. This is called emotional dependence, dependent on people and situations. One equation needs to change, and you can experiment this today. You can experiment this right now. Just rewind on your mind the last time you got angry. Anytime. It could be this morning, Sunday morning. It could be in the whole week when you got a little angry, a little irritated. Just rewind that scene, bring it there. Now, just look at the same scene. If everything is the same, their mistake, what they did, everything that went wrong, everything is the same. And then bring the focus on yourself. If given another chance, can I respond differently in the same scene? Can I? And bring the spotlight on yourself and see yourself responding another way to the same situation. And I'm sure each one of you will agree that we all have the power to respond differently. We reacted that day. We can handle the same situation with calm, with ease, with respect. But that day we reacted, which is okay, no problem. But the realization is I have the choice how to respond. The situation is not the cause of my anger. We've lived our life saying, I'm angry because of, I'm irritated because of, I'm upset because of, I'm worried because of, I'm happy because of. So, good or bad, whatever's going on here is because of something outside. This is emotional weakness. This is low emotional health. This is low emotional quotient. Emotional independence. Yes, they behaved wrongly. Yes, they did not do things right. Yes, there was a crisis outside. I choose my response. I created anger. I create calm. I create worry. I create care. So, emotion inside situations cannot enter into my mind and create my emotions. We choose and create our emotions. This is emotional health, to be aware of that. To be aware of that. That situations don't create my thoughts. I create my thoughts in response to the situation. So, the first experiment or the first homework, it's like a little homework that we need to start doing, that from this moment onwards, and let's do it for first 24 hours and then at least for a week. Every time there is a situation and you respond, just remind yourself, I am the creator of this response, which means end of blame game. No blaming anybody for how you are feeling. Good or bad, this was my choice. I created it. So remind yourself every single day, I am the creator of my every thought, feeling, word, behavior. I am the creator of every thought, feeling, word, behavior. This is the first step to emotional health. So then we don't give our mind the liberty to keep getting irritated and angry on every scene saying, oh, it's because the scene was like that. No, the scene was like that. It was not a very right scene, but I choose how to respond. Why it's very important to conserve emotional health. The pandemic will take some time to settle down. You know all that better than us. And you know that these next few months have challenges in store, and you have to handle a lot more than probably you've already handled in the last 1 month. If you do not protect your emotional health, I know every doctor is concerned about physical health, but really, for you, it's a smaller concern. All of you are vaccinated, you are protected, you know that even if that COVID comes to you, it won't be able to do much in most of the cases. So, physical health really is not that much of an issue of concern. It's not. But an issue of concern is emotional health of a healer, especially because these next few months are going to see bigger challenges, which means numerator pressure is going to increase in the next few months. So first step that we need to start today, no reactions, getting angry, shouting, irritating. No, because this is depleting my emotional health. I have to conserve my emotional health. I have a lot to do in the next few months. I have to conserve my emotional health. It is when our emotional health really dips, then there are chances we shift to a mental health issue. Then it doesn't remain an emotional health issue. Then it shifts to a mental health issue. Then there can be signs of depression and then some things more than that. So we need to conserve emotional health. So let's change simple habits from today. The way we react to situations. There are some typical habits where we react, same people making the same mistake, we are reacting every day with them. Our nurse, our staff at home and at work, they cannot be always our way. We have to understand people cannot always be my way, but I have to learn how to be with them, conserving my energy. So I will instruct them, I will be strict with them, I will advise them, but I will not waste this energy. I have to conserve emotional health. I have to be emotionally fit for this pandemic. I have to be emotionally very strong. So I will not throw away my energy like this reacting with people. So the way of working, the way of living is going to change a little bit. So the first thing is I am the creator of my response. This increases our denominator, that inner power. And second, I will create only healthy responses. We have grown up believing that uncomfortable emotions are normal. And sometimes there are some doctors also who say that. So, really, it's a responsibility of the healthcare professionals to change this belief system in society. Somewhere, scientists and doctors and medical professionals, they said stress is normal, anger is normal, fear is normal, worry is normal, anxiety is normal, jealousy is normal, comparison, criticism, competition, everything which is an uncomfortable emotion here, they called it normal. And they said this is a normal human emotion. And because they called it normal, society allows themselves to create it throughout the day. It's a normal hai. This is so normal to get angry. And so we allow ourselves to create it. As a doctor, you know how important the word normal is. Normal. What is normal? What blood pressure is normal? What sugar level is normal? Today, what oxygen level is normal? The human mind needs to be very clear of the definition of normal. Similarly, what emotion is normal? How can uncomfortable emotions be normal? They create an uncomfortable effect in the body also. Even a child going to school before an exam starts getting fever, acidity, nausea, vomiting, dry mouth. hands sweating. What is all this? This is not normal. And why is this not normal? Because child is stressed. So how can stress be normal? So second important equation is never call uncomfortable emotions as normal. They are not normal. They are an emotional illness. All these words are an emotional illness. So what is normal? Calm, stability, gratitude, faith, cooperation, caring, sharing, happiness, love, acceptance, all this is normal. So when we give this message out into the world that which emotion is normal and which is an illness, half the disturbances from society will change if we could tell them what is emotional health. But let's begin with us as healers, that these beautiful, comfortable feelings, which also create comfort in the body, they are the normal feelings, they are the normal emotions. So, one, I am the creator, and second, I know which one is normal. So, I will only create those ones. Now, to make this simple, simple lifestyle habits, which we need to implement always and especially during the current time. Just by saying that I have to think positive, it won't happen. Na? Like just by saying I want to be healthy, my body doesn't become healthy. I have to have certain lifestyle habits. Similarly, a positive mind, right thoughts, which means good emotional fitness, emotional health, I need to have simple lifestyle habits. Let's see how we can take care of those during the day. One spiritual equation. In Hindi, it is Sankalp se Siddhi. Sankalp means thought and Siddhi means manifestation. Our thoughts manifest. This is a very, very powerful law. Like law of gravity, this is a law of spirituality. Our thoughts manifest. They become a reality. Any repeated thought becomes a reality. So we need to be very careful how we think. If we create negative thoughts and keep repeating them often, then they are called negative affirmations. They will become a reality. If we want to start thinking positive, today we will create a few positive affirmations, which means beautiful, pure, powerful, positive thoughts. We will create them now. You can note them down and then just start using them every single day. We'll see when to use them and how to use them. We are teaching the mind to think in a little different way. Equation is thoughts manifest, which means whatever reality you see, you don't think what you see. You think that what you want to see. Everything that we create in the world first gets created in the mind. And that's why scientists say everything is created twice, once in the mind and then once in the world. This is what it is. First create it here and then see it happening here. This is thoughts manifest. So if I want to become calm and stable, but right now I'm very agitated. So I need to first create a thought inside. I am calm, I am stable. But then my mind says, but I am not. So why should I say I am? Because when I say I am and I say it every single day, I am calm and stable. I am calm and stable. I am a positive mind. When I start saying this every single day, then within the next few days, my programming here will start changing. This is reprogramming the mind, the coding of the mind. But if I keep saying, I am stressed, then came COVID and I said, I am very stressed, and then I said, next few months are going to be very stressful, then that is what is going to manifest. So let's take few powerful positive affirmations and make them our reality. First affirmation, I am a powerful being. Powerful being. What is powerful? Emotionally fit here. Doesn't get affected by situations and people, which means doesn't get disturbed. Radiates calm, radiates compassion. A healer is equal to compassion. But compassion is equal to a calm and stable mind. An agitated mind can take care, can treat, but cannot radiate compassion. Compassion means pure energy. Pure energy. If I treat someone but I'm disturbed inside, then I'm treating fine, but I'm radiating disturbing energy because I am disturbed inside. So compassion is a high vibrational pure energy. So first equation, I am a powerful being, which means situations and people don't disturb me, I remain strong. I am a powerful being. And you're going to visualize this first thing in the morning, throughout the day, with people, with your staff, with the nurse, with the patient, with your spouse, with everybody. I am a powerful being. I choose my response, perfect, accurate response in every situation. I am the master of my life. I am the master of my situation. I don't react, I respond. So, first affirmation, I am a powerful being. Second affirmation, I am calm, I am stable. I am calm, I am stable. Third affirmation, I am fearless. I am fearless because fear is the predominant emotion in the air now. Air, it's in the air, it's a very heavy energy right now. That's also the reason that sometimes we create it, because we catch it from the air. I am fearless. Fearless, absolutely. Fourth affirmation, which is very important and needs to be taken in the right perspective. I am detached. Very important. I am detached. We need to understand detached in the right perspective. Detached doesn't mean I'm indifferent. Nothing makes a difference to me what's happening around me. No, no. Healers cannot be like that. Healers are compassionate. But detached means that whatever is happening around you, it also has a vibration. That vibration is not entering into your energy space. You are detached. You are detached. Like a surgery. Why does a family member generally does not operate on another family member? Because of attachment. Attachment might create a different energy. So unless the healer is very strong, they choose not to operate on someone they know. So detachment is strength. Detachment means we work on them, we treat them, but we don't get affected emotionally by their emotions. This is very, very important for the next few months. It always is, but next few months it's very, very important. We're going to be doing our best. We are going to be doing more than our capacity, but we will have to be in the highest energy to be able to do more than our capacity. But if we start getting affected and absorbing the emotion of what's happening around us, it will lower our capacity. And we don't want that to happen. So we will put an affirmation in the morning, I am detached. So I am powerful, I am calm and stable, I am fearless, I am detached. Fifth, my body is perfect and healthy and will always be. So we are not going to create a thought, what if this COVID happens to me? We're changing the coding here. My body is perfect and healthy and will always be. Create one very powerful visual in front of you, an affirmation. God's power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. Please draw this right now in your mind. Divine light, God's divine light of purity and power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. Like you wear a PPE kit, virus cannot come inside you. No way through that kit. Similarly, if you envelop yourself with a divine energy protection around you, lower vibrational energy cannot enter into it. Vibrations are only a thought. It's only a thought, and it only requires a thought to protect from a thought. So somebody else's emotion is only a thought around me, and I create a thought that I am protected by the highest vibration. The lower vibration thought cannot enter into this. So you will be dealing with people, treating people, being there in the chaos, but their pain means emotional pain, their anxiety, their fear, that will not come into your energy field. And you will have to create this protection circle every day. You cannot. You have to be emotionally very strong for the next few months. So God's power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. That's the next affirmation. Then you create that same circle around your family, because there's always a lot of concern that I go to the hospital daily and then I come home, and what if somebody at home gets it from me? I'm not going to think like that. If they get it, we will treat it. But why should I create a thought, what if they get? We take care, but we don't create the thought of what we get. We will create a thought. God's blessings are a circle of protection around them. They are safe, they are secure. Every day we are going to create this affirmation. Then create this affirmation for your hospital. Very important. Very, very important. Times are such, lots is going to happen in the hospital. Every day so much is going to happen in the hospital. Normally also it happens, but right now more. So create this. God's power and blessings is a divine circle of protection around my hospital. Everything today is going to be smooth and accurate and perfect. Everything, which means nothing will go wrong. There will be no mistakes. There will not be any chaos. Everything. There will be a lot that will happen, but there will not be mishaps. So when you bless your hospital first thing in the morning, instead of worrying, what if this happens? What? No. Sankalp se siddhi, our thoughts manifest. Our thoughts manifest. So our every thought is going to be a high vibrational thought. So create that energy circle for your hospital. Everything today is going to be stable, perfect, accurate. Accurate. And then just create one last thought, energy circle for the planet. That God's blessings is a healing energy circle around the planet. The world is beautiful. The world is perfect. So now how many affirmations did we get? I am a powerful being. I am calm and stable. I am fearless. I am detached. My body is perfect and healthy. God's power and blessings circle of protection around me, around my family, around my hospital, and around the world. 10 thoughts. Only 10 thoughts. How simple this is. Only 10 thoughts, which now we will see when we have to create this, because very important what time we have to create these thoughts. Like the medicine you give, these are these little medicines for our emotional health. What time and how many times do we have to create these thoughts, so that these thoughts become programming here, and within a few days they will start becoming your natural thoughts, your normal way of thinking, and within the next few days they will start manifesting in your life. You will see that you will not react the way you used to react before. You are able to handle the same scene in a little better manner. You're not getting irritated, you're not getting angry. You will start seeing this happen automatically. So now when to create these thoughts? So those are the simple lifestyle changes. First thing is the first thought in the morning. The first thought in the morning is extremely important. Extremely important. I know you are a doctor. I know you have to check your phone. But you know what? If there was an emergency, somebody would have already called you. Just give yourself 5 minutes before you look at the phone. Just 5 minutes first when you wake up. Don't look at the phone. Normally, for other people, we tell them not for 1 hour to look at their phone. But because you're a healer, 5 minutes don't look at the phone. And after those 5 minutes, when you look at the phone, only look at your patients and hospital related. Don't look at anything else that's happening in the world. That's not meant for the first hour of the morning. For a good emotional health, we need a good emotional diet. Emotional diet. And what is emotional diet? What we watch, what we read, what we listen. Information. What we watch, what we read, what we listen is who we become. So when we say positive thoughts, positive mind, then we need a positive emotional diet. However much I think, I cannot create positive thoughts unless I consume a positive diet. Like if I want health, I need to have a good diet. I can't eat junk food and have good bones. It's not possible. It's not possible. So I cannot consume junk information. Now, junk information doesn't mean what's happening in the world. Junk information means what is toxic energy. Toxic energy for me. I cannot keep consuming that and say I can have a positive mind and positive thoughts. Not possible. It's just not possible. So healthy emotional diet is what I watch, what I read, what I listen. First thing in the morning is very important, my emotional diet. So 5 minutes, don't look at the phone first. Just as you open your eyes, your first thought is very important. This mind is like a blotting paper. Our first thoughts go deep into the subconscious. So the first thought, even before you fully opened your eyes, gratitude. Tune your mind to gratitude first thing in the morning. Gratitude to the supreme power, gratitude to your mind and body for being healthy, gratitude to people, gratitude to your hospital, to your work, gratitude to nature. There's so much to be grateful for. Gratitude is a high vibrational energy. So, first 4 5 thoughts, gratitude. Next, those 10 affirmations. We need to create them first thing in the morning. So imagine the mind absolutely calm, just woken up from deep sleep. This blotting paper, absorption power highest, mind is like a blotting paper in the morning. And the first thoughts that I put onto it, gratitude. And the second set of thoughts, I am a powerful being. I am fearless, I'm calm and stable, body perfect. Now, every thought that I'm putting in at that time when I just wake up, this is going deep into the subconscious because I have just woken up from deep sleep. Subconscious mind is activated, the thought will go inside. And that's why I said don't look at your phone for 5 minutes. Because if you first look at your phone and if you see this happened to this patient, this happened, then all that will go onto the blotting paper first. Then the blotting paper will get saturated. So, yes, patient care is very important, but in order to be able to take best care of my patient throughout the day, self-care is very important. Self-care is very important. So the first 5 minutes, say those affirmations at least 5 times in the morning, at least 5 times, and try and visualize them. I'm powerful, I'm calm and stable, my body is healthy, divine light aura. See yourself in the hospital, calm and stable. People make mistakes. I respond with stable. See all this in the morning here. So power of affirmation plus power of visualization creates miracles, absolute miracles. And these miracles are best created in the healthcare industry. Because with the body, these miracles manifest very fast because mind instruction follows to the body immediately. 5 minutes. Then you are checking your phone to know everything about your patients and your hospital, but not about the world news, not about any social media handles, and not about anything else. First thing in the morning, nahi. Uske baad, you meditate for some time. Need to learn meditation. And what is important is also at least 20 minutes. And this is very, very important. Please don't ignore this. This is very, very important. At least 20 minutes of consuming a positive emotional diet. Only a positive emotional diet with those affirmations and meditation can give you a positive mind. There's no other way. It's not possible any other way, especially when you're surrounded with a crisis. It's not possible. Over a period of time, that crisis is going to start taking a toll on human minds, not just on human bodies, on human minds. So, at least 20 minutes of consuming a positive emotional diet. You choose your content. It could be a video, it could be an audio, it could be a self transformation book, it could be spiritual study, it could be a scripture which you like, whatever, whatever you choose. But 20 minutes of faith, of compassion, of gratitude, of peace, of forgiveness, of love, that content has to go in, which means content of who I want to become 20 minutes in the first hour of the morning, not during the day, first hour of the morning. And then, of course, you take care of the body with your walk, your exercise, yoga, pranayam, whatever you like best. So, ideally, at least 45 minutes to an hour in the morning should be for the self. And don't allow your mind to say, I don't have time. No, it's not possible. We have to start investing this 45 minutes to 1 hour because this is going to be our protection of the mind and the body. during this pandemic and also always afterwards. So this is morning routine: gratitude, affirmations, spiritual study. That is positive emotional diet. First 30 minutes of the morning. Now come to the night, just before you go to sleep. Again, the most important time is first thought of the morning and last thought before you go to sleep. Again, the blotting paper is going to be there. We are going to go into the delta stage. So the last thought before we sleep is very important. At least 15 minutes, last hour before we sleep, no news, no world news, no news channels, no information, no content which has anger, greed, ego, negativity, stress, nothing. No movies of that kind, no serials, no OTT platforms, nothing in the last 1 hour. Ideally 2 hours, but at least 1 hour. Last 1 hour on any day, not even on a Sunday when you have a holiday, any day, last 1 hour, no negative content should go inside the mind. Otherwise, we don't have good sleep. We don't have good sleep. And good sleep nahi hai, so we get affected emotionally. So last 1 hour, no negative content. Last 15 minutes or 10 minutes also, positive emotional diet. Again, I have to read, listen, 10 minutes only. But the last content that has to go here before I sleep has to be very positive. So positive emotional diet just before you go to sleep, 10 minutes. Close your eyes, lie down, and say your affirmations. I am a powerful being. I am calm, I'm stable, I'm happy, I'm detached. Just say these 2, 3 times and go to sleep. So these are your last thoughts on your mind just as you're going to sleep. Next 6 to 7 hours as you sleep, these last thoughts, these last affirmations will get deeply programmed over here. Very, very deep. The last thought before we sleep is very important, and the first thought when we wake up in the morning. These two times taken care of. And the third thing, very simple: the food we eat. The food we eat doesn't just nourish our body. The food we eat is also vibration for the mind. That's why it said, you are what you eat. You are what you eat is not the body. It is you are what you eat. In Hindi, the line is very accurate. Jaisa anna, vaisa man, which means as is the food, so is the mind. Jaisa pani, vaisi vani. As is the water, so are the words. Which means food and water have vibrations and they affect our thoughts and our words. Let's experiment with the vegetarian diet. It's very important for healthcare professionals, for healers, for doctors to experiment with the vegetarian diet and then take that message out into the world. Vegetarian diet, healthy for the mind and for the body both. Both. An animal in a slaughterhouse creates fear, anxiety, hatred, helplessness, anger, then violence, then death. How did we tell people that this was health? How could somebody's death be health? You know better than any of us what all happens in a dead body. How did we give it to people calling it health? We could say it's proteins, but we can't call it health. Lot of difference. So let's experiment with the vegetarian diet. You're going to feel very lighter in your mind and also healthier in your body. So let's do at least a 6 months experiment with a vegetarian diet. Second, right now, during this pandemic, at home and even in hospitals, extremely important in hospitals also, have very positive words playing in the kitchen. Because where food is being cooked, whatever words are playing, they will go into the food. They will go into the food. That's why if you see how food is cooked in mandir, in the temples, in the gurdwara, church, masjid, it's very high energy because the vibration will go into the food and then the food vibration will affect the mind of the people who eat. So have high energy words playing in the kitchen of the house and the kitchen of the hospital. It could be prayers, it could be chanting, it could be bhajan, it could be spiritual songs, whatever the hospital is comfortable with and whatever you like at home. But please play that in your kitchen. Right now, even the water of the city is vibrating with fear and anxiety. There is vibration in water, there's energy. I'm sure you all must have seen the effect of emotions on water crystals. Please see online. There are crystals, photos are there. Effect of emotions on water crystals. Our body is mostly water. If the water has fear and anxiety, water crystal in my body will not be right. Again, health gets affected. So water and food needs to be energized in the kitchen, cooked in the right frame of mind. Please take care in the hospital that people who are cooking need to be very calm and stable. Don't allow your kitchen of the hospital to have people shouting and screaming and getting irritated. Not good energy. Not good energy for the patients, not good energy even for the doctors and the nurses and the staff who are going to eat that food. So kitchen needs to be like a place of worship, high energy place. Now, while eating, no phones, no TV while eating. This is an absolute no no for emotional diet. No phones, no TV while eating. And last one step, just before you eat. Remember, we were taught as children to pray before we eat. There's a reason for that. The food has vibrations of the people who cooked it, of the environment around. So when that food comes before us, or when that glass of water, and especially when you're eating in a hospital or drinking water in a hospital, there's so much energy of pain. It's there in the food and water. Never eat food and water. Never eat food or drink water before taking a pause of 2 seconds. Only 2 seconds you pause, but you have to take a pause. Like we wash our hands, like we wash the glass. Similarly, we need to wash the energy of that food and water. So when that food is before you or the glass of water is before you, just take that 2-3 second pause, connect to the higher power, say your affirmations into the food and water. I'm a powerful being, I'm calm and stable, I'm detached, I'm fearless, I'm perfect and healthy. God's power and blessings is a circle of protection around me. That's it. How much time did it take? Nothing. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That's all. Please say this. This is huge protection. Huge, huge protection. You will see amazing results in your mind and in how your body feels if you say this in your every food and water. Food and water is radiating with fear and anxiety right now. There is enough evidence. We have enough evidence for all this. Just do it. This is called prasad. This is called amrit. Just experiment with it. Please pause for that 3 seconds, which we were taught as children, and let's do it now. Let's put the affirmation into our food and water. So once in the morning, once in the night, 3 meals and 6-7 glasses of water. And if you drink tea or coffee, then even that time. So you have said your affirmation at least 10 to 12 times in a day. It's not too much. It takes only 5 seconds. Just by doing that, and your emotional diet, 20 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes before going to sleep, and during the day, aware I am the creator of my response and I will choose the right response. I'm working on my denominator. You are going to be emotionally very, very strong. Very, very strong, very, very calm and positive, very stable, even if things outside are not the way we wanted it to be. The mind will be the way we wanted it to be. And when the mind is calm, handling the situation becomes very easy. Very easy. So it's our role to take care of our emotional fitness and our physical health. And then you are ready to be able to take care of everyone else who's coming in your energy field. So just for 1 month, start experimenting with this simple, simple lifestyle. Within 10-15 days, you are 100% going to see the result of that. It's 100%. If anybody does everything, it's 100% you will see a result within the next 15 days. And then it's your experience, it's your evidence, and you can continue with that then. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Sister Shivani. This was fantastic. It's absolutely exhilarating. The way you spoke, the way you described, the equations, the scientific equation which you gave. Stress is equal to pressure upon resilience. Resilience is depending on the inner power. The affirmations which you gave, it's fantastic. It's really I was just seeing the watch now. It's 50 to 55 minutes, and I didn't realize how this time went. So it's really a nice uh, message you have given us, what to do in the morning, first thing, what to do in the night. It is Sankalp Se Siddhi, thoughts manifest. I think that's the fantastic message which you've given us, the affirmations. I'm a powerful being, I'm calm and stable, I'm fearless, I'm detached. Already I'm, by hearting all those things, create a protection around you, your family, the hospital, the food we eat, how it should be made, a small 3-second prayer. Fantastic, a big round of applause virtually for ma'am. Really, thank you. So what, Shivani sister, now we are going to do is, if you can give us about 45-50 minutes
All the
more.
time, no problem at all.
Thank
All
you.
the time.
Thank you so much. So I have a few questions initially, and then we are going to ask our president to ask few questions. Dr. Prakash, Dr. Karne is here. He's our secretary. And then we will open it up for some questions as we go on. But initial few questions, the next 20-25 minutes, I have 6 or 7 questions, which I want to ask you, if you permit me. So, I just want to shift gears a little bit. I just want to move to a little different kind of a topic before we again come back to COVID and all the things, just to, kind of break the monotony, if we may say that we've talked about COVID, we've talked about mental health, all this. I just want to ask you one question, and this has always been in my mind and many people's mind. Many of us get mixed up between religion and spirituality. You know, and the way you explained, I have heard many of your talks, sister, and never you bring any kind of religion. Your talks are so simple, and you connect to people immediately, but at the same time very effectively and impactfully. But I have never heard you promoting religion A, B, or C. Just now, also in your talk, you mentioned about mandir, you mentioned about masjid, you mentioned about church, gurudwara, all in one go. So, is there any difference? Many a times we mix spirituality and religion. So, can you help us to clarify the difference between the two?
All religious prophets, when they came onto this planet, and we've all studied their teachings, right? So whether it's Gautam Buddha, whether it's Mahavir, whether it's Shankaracharya, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's Muhammad, Abraham, every prophet that came onto this planet was teaching almost the same thing. Way of teaching, way of expressing, way of practicing, lifestyles, that could be different. The message and the teaching was the same. And that message was about peace, about love, about compassion, about caring, about unity, and connecting to the one supreme power. So everyone pointed up there that this is one God and we are all his children. And they were teaching us the religion of the soul, the dharam means religion. What is dharam means quality. Like we say pani ka dharam, what is the dharam of water? It is to give coolness to us when we drink. That's the quality of water. What is the dharam? The religion of every soul. It's peace, it's love, it's happiness, it's purity, it's power, it's knowledge, it's bliss. 7 original qualities of every soul. That is the religion of every soul. And every prophet, religious leader, saint, they came on the planet and they taught us only those 7 original qualities. And we were meant to implement and practice those 7 original qualities. They did not come into this world to establish separate religions. They had not come to establish separate religions. They had come to teach us religion, religion of the soul, religion of the soul. Then what happened? Apart from connecting to what they taught, we also started connecting to teachers. So one is connecting to the teaching and one is connecting to the teacher. When we started connecting to the teacher, so obviously I'll say your teacher and my teacher is different. So because your teacher and my teacher is different, we started saying you and me are different. It's then that we started making different religions. But actually, religion is here. Religion is not like this. They came here to taught us the religion of the soul. We said we are Hindus, we are Muslims, we are Christians, we are Sikhs, we are Jains, we are Buddhists, because we were following different teachers. That was also fine. We can follow different teachers, but we should follow the teaching also with that. Na? But today we have reached such a stage that we can fight with each other in the name of religion. Now, no teacher taught that. Every teacher said love, compassion, unity. Today we can fight with each other in the name of religion, which means we are not implementing our religion. So let's take the teaching of the religion, and the teaching is the religion of the soul, and start practicing that in daily life. So spirituality means a personality of the spirit. The spirit has those 7 qualities. Use those 7 qualities in your every thought, word, and action. And we all use it. But do I use it for 5 minutes or 5 hours? In those few minutes, I am spiritual, which means I'm using the qualities of the soul, the spirit. So we all are spiritual, and religion teaches us to be spiritual, to use those original qualities. All that we need to do is we implement what religion is teaching us, and the dharam of the soul should come in our every karam. That is very important. So dharam and karam are together. It cannot be that early in the morning I pray, I meditate, my dharam, and then during the day my karam is like in a different direction. And then I say, nahi, but practical life mein to ye karna hota hai. No. Dharam and karam has to go together. When our every karam is based on our dharam, then we are truly spiritual, we are truly religious, we are practicing our religion, following everything that religion is teaching us. So spirituality is only teaching us how to practice our religion.
Fantastic. So can we say that religion is a vehicle to spirituality, and when religion is man-made, so it helps us to achieve the religion.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. It is teaching us to become who we want to become.
right.
Just that we need to hold it and
Yeah.
practice it, and use it. Use it in our every karam. That is very important.
So I'll go to the next question, ma'am. Now coming back to a little bit of COVID things, what we've seen in the last 1 year or so, all of us have been at home, all of us have been confined to homes. And if you read, the divorce rates have gone up. This lockdown has led to a lot of breakdowns. Made families have broken, husband and wife have separated. The relations also with the family, with the children, with husband and wife, with parents and children have changed in different ways. So, can you please enlighten us and tell us a little more on how we can improve these interpersonal relationship? Because we are now, even as doctors, spending sometimes more time at home in a way, because we have our routine work is not there, and even our family sometimes not used to seeing us so much at home because we've been working 16, 18 hours a day. But because of the COVID and because of orthopedic nature, which directly doesn't deal with that, we have got time. And but this time sometimes has been counterproductive. So the relations have been disturbed, and we are seeing the numbers. So can you, Sister Shivani, please enlighten us on how we can improve these relations?
A relation between two people, a husband, a wife, a parent, a child, a sibling, any two people, is actually an energy exchange between two souls. So, my mind and your mind, this is a relationship, which means what I think about you and what you think about me is the energy exchange that will happen, and that will create a relationship. Then, what we speak to each other and what we behave with each other. So, our thoughts, words, and behavior come into a relationship. What happened during lockdown? Now, see, COVID is a physical health issue. Why would it affect relationships? No, so we should also think about it. First time in our life, we got to spend so much time with our family, which we always wanted, which we had been like praying for that we should get this much time. But when we were at home, because of all this situation also, and we were not taking care of mind, both the people are saying fear and anxiety is normal, getting stressed is normal. So if two stressed minds, two anxious minds will interact with each other, they are not going to be in their best ability to be able to adjust, to be able to accept, to be able to respond peacefully, because they are disturbed.
Right.
Now, all that we need to do is these two minds, or even if both the minds don't want to do one mind, one out of the two minds needs to start practicing the lifestyle that we discussed today. That means one mind needs to start taking care of their mind. And when you start taking care of your mind, you're not critical, you're not judgmental, you respond nicely even if the other person has made a mistake. Your ability to accept people becomes higher because you are stronger. So when your fitness level here increases, the way you will interact with people will change completely. Relationship will become beautiful. The most complicated relationships, people who are on the verge of divorce change their mind and they come back if even one out of the two starts taking care of their mind. So relationships are here.
Yeah.
One person out of the two needs to take care of their mind, relationship will change.
Absolutely. Just a related question, moving to the third question, which I have, Sister Shivani, for you. What happens is there were very many elderly people who were very busy, who were really working very hard. They may be doctors, industrialists, entrepreneurs, scientists, 70 plus, 75 plus. And suddenly, because of the pandemic, since last 1 year, more or less, they are confined to the house. They have not been able to go out because their children are telling them not to go. They inner calling is also there not to go, and they are a little apprehensive, and sitting at home has taken a toll, to a large extent on their mental health, mental emotions. So how can we, Sister Shivani, especially for the elderly population, uh, help them to kind of deal with this suddenly sitting at home, and when they were in the hospital or in the office or in the industry or in the lab, they
Very
had
active.
no time to eat food, but now they're at home and that's taking a toll. So any words of advice, Sister Shibani, for this subset of people?
Yeah. Simple is first have a very clear cut lifestyle routine. What happened when we were going to work every day? We had a fixed routine. We need to continue having a fixed routine even when we are at home. When a person stops having a routine, that's when the mind and the body starts going, okay, now why do I need to wake up early? I don't have to go anywhere. Why do I need to get ready early? What is the need for me to get ready early? I don't have to go anywhere. So this whole thing that I have nothing to look forward to during the day, I don't have to go anywhere, tells me that I don't need to have a routine. But that's not right. For the mind and the body, Sanyam and Niyam, which means a lifestyle of discipline. So wake up at the same time that you used to wake up, sleep early at the same time that you used to wake up. Now, when you wake up in the morning, you have a little extra time. So you work on that little meditation, that spiritual study, and your physical health also, in case you were not doing that before. So give yourself a good 1 hour during the morning for yourself. Second, even by being at home, because of all the technology that we have now and because of the ways that we are getting connected with each other, continue to be a part of your work. Don't think that just because you're not going now, you're not a part of your work. Because if you start feeling that you're not a part of your work, within another 6 months or 1 year, you will start feeling you're not wanted. You're not needed. Because what happens, a system gets used to working without you. Nothing stops for us. Today we go there, we are completely involved in the system. If we don't go for 1 year, the system will adapt without us. And then if we suddenly go, we might not be, and everything is got happening on its own. So continue to be a part of that system online.
Right.
Be a part of meetings, sit there in every meeting, have your suggestions exactly how you would do in the conference room. Get used to that digital platforms. You will be able to do most of your work online, and it's very very important for us to do that. Then you have your fixed eating habits. Do everything you were doing, that you were doing when you were going there. It may be little lesser than that, but it's not completely over. That's for sure. We should continue doing everything digitally. You can also have a daily routine of certain hobbies which you were not able to do earlier. You
Right.
were not. Now engage in them. Keep your 1 hour for this, keep your little 1 hour for this, but have a schedule. Any person who stops having a schedule, it's only then when things start getting affected. If I have a schedule and if I'm in, and a very important thing that you can start doing is seva. Seva. Seva is very important, and seva can happen even from home, because right now we are not going to go outside anywhere. Get involved with NGOs, contribute your wisdom and experience of all the years only you have and nobody else in society has that. So give it to NGOs, give it to organizations, give it as a consultant, just as seva. You don't want anything in return. It's purely seva. Seva is going to give you a completely different energy here. Different energy. Talk to everybody who's not well. Make it a make it a point to call up everyone who's in quarantine and talk to them at least for 5 minutes with a lot of positive energy. You will get energized after that. It's only a question of a few months, but these few months spent the right way will only bring us out stronger out of this.
Fantastic, fantastic. So continue the same routine, what you were doing earlier. Get into seva, talk to people who are in quarantine. Really, so many tips in these 3-4 minutes you gave us. Let me go to the next question, the fourth question which I have, and that is something which most of the doctors are going through. You know what happens is now we at Sancheti Hospital have a COVID ward. Many people are in their own hospital admitting COVID patients because there's overwhelming number of patients. Some are directly involved, some are indirectly involved. And every day, Sister Shivani, all of us, all doctors get calls that we want a bed, we want a ventilator, we want an oxygen bed. And you know, the feeling which I echo of helplessness, help, despair is a common feeling which most of us have experienced in the last 3 weeks, which probably in the last 30 years we have never faced. In these last 3 weeks, collectively, you know, to say no, a patient is in an ambulance, his oxygen cylinder is getting over, and he calls you, Dr. Parag, what do I do? Where do I go? I know that there is oxygen supply. Our hospital is on the last cylinder. Ventilators, all of them are booked. And, you know, so it's very difficult. And this is something which every day in our meetings, when I talk to my friends or doctor colleagues, this is a common thing which is going on, a feeling of despair, feeling of helplessness, which, you know, eats us. That's a negative affirmation in your language.
Yes,
So
yes.
I really don't know how to handle this and how to come about this feeling of despair and helplessness. Can you help us, sister?
This is something which a lot of us are going through. Of course, doctors and hospital people get the maximum calls, but you know, a lot of other people also get calls. Can you help me? Can you connect me to this one? Can you get me? Now, okay, the situation is not easy. Again, the pressure is very high, the numerator, right? It's not at all easy to say no to somebody when you know what the outcome of that no will be. Because as a doctor, you can already see the outcome, that if this person does not get a bed within 6 hours or within 24 hours, you are already able to visualize the outcome of your no. So when you say a no and when you see the outcome of your no, it becomes a huge moral responsibility. It becomes a huge karma. And somewhere we start holding ourselves responsible when something might not go right, when that person probably might not that day get a bed in any hospital, and then we know what can happen. And somewhere that will get recorded on our mind saying, I, directly or indirectly, have been a part of what has happened today. Now, now just let's pause. If we look at it like this, yes, we will feel we were a part of it. Now we have to look at it spiritually. Now, this is where spiritual principles are very important. First thought, I am going beyond my capacity to help. Is my conscience clear? Yes, my conscience is clear. I have to keep my conscience clear, which means my karma has to be accurate. Am I being careless? Not at all. Am I being laid back? Not at all. Am I stretching my boundaries completely? Totally. Totally. Is my conscience clean? Highest level of cleanliness that this time. That we are doing everything our best. Was my karma right? Absolutely, it was right. Could have I accommodated them? Didn't have place at all. Did I make a mistake deliberately? Not at all. Talk to your mind. You are going to question your karma. Nobody else is going to question you. So be very, very authentic inside that I stretched my limits and I did everything. Second, after that, now please take this in the right perspective. Please understand We can help people, we can treat people, but we don't write the destiny of people.
Right.
Don't
Right.
take that burden on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Not even during COVID, and actually not even without COVID also. Like when you do a surgery, sometimes everything is perfect and you were perfect, and yet the result was not perfect. It does happen sometimes. And sometimes everything was complicated, but the result is so beautiful. There is something more than just you as a doctor. And you have witnessed that regularly. And that what is more is the destiny of that person, and the destiny of that person is that person's destiny and their karma. If somebody has to get a bed now, anything will start happening and they will get a bed from out of nowhere, even if there was nothing, and it will become available for them. And everybody will say, from where did this person get a bed? It was not possible. That person's karma and destiny is making it happen, even if everyone thinks no. And sometimes simple things get complicated. So please don't think that we can write destiny of people. We are only small puppets in this whole drama of the world. We're just little parts. Even God does not write the destiny of people.
Right.
We write our destiny with our karma. We only need to be clear that my conscience, my karma is right. And every day, every night before going to sleep, please do this. Surrender what has happened during the day to God. Please don't go to sleep with it. Over a period of time, that trauma will start getting recorded here. So before you go to sleep, just surrender. Today I did this, I did this, I did this. I was not able to help this person. I tried my best. Cleanse your system before you go to sleep. Cleanse your system and surrender and say thank you for everything that went perfect. Please don't focus only on things which are not going right during the day. It's very important to focus on the things which are going beautiful during the day and say thank you and thank you and thank you. The more you will say thank you and shukriya for everything that's happening perfect, the more perfection will start happening. It's an energy. But the more we focus on this is not happening right, this is not happening right, then more things will not happen right. This is a law. This is how energy works. So focus on everything that's beautiful. Surrender to God before you go to sleep. And that moment when you say a no to somebody, that moment when you have to say a no to somebody, verbally you say a no, and in your mind you say, I tried my best. I tried my best. God bless this soul and let them go forward. Which means God bless this soul means we are sending them with a blessing so that they can go forward into another hospital and get what they never say. No, what this recording here is very, 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 very important. Very important.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sister.
And don't call yourself helpless. It's not a right word.
This is an
See,
emotion I was trying to.
no, no, no. What happened? No, no. It's natural. We are all feeling that, but we'll have to
Yes.
change it
But now we have
because
to change.
helpless over a period of time, every single day, if I start saying I'm helpless, you see what will start happening. I'm not sure whether you know about it. Last week in Delhi, a very senior doctor in a very big multi speciality hospital has committed suicide.
Yes.
He was married, he just married in November. His wife is 2 months expecting mother, and he wrote a suicide note that I was not able to see all these deaths every day and not help. Now, you see, this is what we have to protect. This is what we have to protect. So, healing our mind is our responsibility. We are not the cause of this chaos.
Right.
We are not the cause of this pandemic. So,
Right.
we will not say, I'm helpless. I will say, I am going beyond my capacity to help every day. So, let me change my vibration and affirmation. I'm going beyond my capacity to help. And most important, I'm instrument of God. I am not the one who's doing. So whatever happens good, surrender it there. Whatever doesn't happen right, surrender it there. For both, we are an instrument. For both, we are an instrument. Then remain light and do your karma.
Fantastic. I have last two quick questions related to this particular thing, and then we'll open it up. There are many other on the Zoom call who also want to ask. One thing which is irreversible about COVID is death. Apart from death, a person has a problem, he has cough, he has fever, he has lost his smell, he has lost his taste. That all comes back. He can get into good health and he's back to normal. But when a person dies, he goes. But that leaves a big scar, a big crack, which is something difficult, And had the COVID not been there, he wouldn't have died. And that's my next question, which I'll come to a little bit. But COVID has come. It was not expected how it has come. Let's not go into that. But there's something which has come, and my relative has gone, my well-wisher, my friend, my colleague has gone. I believe recently also one of your sisters, Sister Kanupriya, she passed away. I read about it. It must have been a big trauma. So that is something which leaves a scar, and it leaves a kind of a permanent scar. How can we heal this scar as soon as possible, and deal with it? I know it will remain. See, that person, you can never forget Manupriya's sister. I know that she will always be there, but it leaves a emotional trauma. Sometimes you feel again, oh God, had I done this, had I done that, had this medicine been available, had that been available, because of this COVID, there are a lot of ifs and buts to it, and which add to the trauma. In a normal situation, there's a road traffic accident, there's a myocardial infarction, somebody dies, you don't feel that bad, but the COVID connotation to the death has added to the trauma. So, Sister Shivani, please help us how to deal with this.
Again, the coming of a soul and the leaving of a soul, which means a birth and a death. Reason can be any. Reason can be any. You said accident, it doesn't affect us so much. That's because that happens once in a while, no? You see, this COVID is just coming every day. Every day something is happening. And we were not prepared and young. And we thought they're just going into the ICU, they will come back. And then this is what happens. So the mind is facing a situation which is new. What happens normally, the mind has got prepared with that situation, but now what is happening, the mind is not prepared for that. First thing, the birth of a child, the soul coming into the womb of a mother, and the soul leaving the body is the destiny of that soul. Again, karma and destiny, these spiritual principles will have to be held on to right now. It's very, very important. Science will not be able to give us all these answers now. So spirituality will have to be held on to. Religion has taught us the law of karma. So it is the destiny of that soul. What is my role as a doctor, as a family member, as a friend? To be a part of that destiny of that person and help in every possible way. So we all helped in every possible way. I was a part of Kanupriya's thing happening in every possible way, with every possible way. So we've all helped, we've all tried. But if it is the time for the soul to leave, everyone coming together is also not able to stop that from happening. The reason could be COVID, the reason could be something else, but it's time for the soul to leave. Now, till the soul is in the body, we try everything, okay, everything. But the moment the soul leaves, now we have to focus here. What are the thoughts that I want to send this soul with? It's our responsibility. The soul is leaving right now in a lot of pain.
Right.
We all pray for souls, no, when they leave, and we say, pray for them to be peaceful. Where is peace right now? There's no peace at all. So how are these souls going to leave with not even having family around them, with not even having the normal funeral that a soul gets before the body gets? So it's a lot of things even for the journey of the soul. So it's very, very important to create very nice thoughts for that soul when that soul is leaving or has left. So connect to God, radiate powers and blessings to them. The vacuum will never go. That vacuum is there, but not a scar. Two things are very different. The vacuum is there, but not a guilt. Not a guilt. Please do not ever create a thought for anybody. I wish I could have done more for you. This thought will reach them. I was not there with you. I couldn't come into this ICU. This thought will reach them. The soul will enter the womb of the mother. A baby is getting created. A new child and a new destiny is getting created. And this programming will get recorded there. Nobody loved me. Nobody cared for me. Nobody helped me. My family was not with me. You will see 3-year-old, 4-year-old children suddenly feeling nobody loves me over here. because their family sent all that message. So we pray, we meditate, and we say, we were with you in our mind totally, even though we couldn't come into the hospital to you. We did our best, and now we radiate only love and blessings to you for a beautiful, healthy body and for a beautiful destiny.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's very important to send that. It's going to change destiny of that child there. This is something which nobody else is going to look at, because for us the death means now end, now there's nothing to think further. But actually it's the beginning a new journey.
I
The
think
new journey has to begin with the right energy.
that's an important message, sister, which you gave us, that that soul also will have to rest in peace and get eternal peace. And your thoughts after the soul leaves are important. So we should have positive thoughts. So one last question before Professor Ajit Shinde will ask you the next question. Uh, it's a question which is a little offbeat, but again, we can talk a whole day. But, a short answer from you. Uh, Basically, we've all talked about Kali Yuga, the age of darkness. The world is going to come to an end. So, is this God's way to kind of take a step forward, if at all, towards this Kali Yuga thing? And is COVID having any relationship with that? I don't know. This is something which I think
Yeah.
your karma theory also can be brought into it. I know this is a big question, and we
No,
can.
it's very simple. It's very
Yes,
simple.
yes, yes.
Uh, let's look at the time now. It's around 6:37. It's getting dark, right? After some time, it'll be 10 o'clock. Then it'll be 12 o'clock. It's time. It's cyclic. But after that, it will be dawn. And then it will be morning. And then it will be. So it's a cycle. Morning, afternoon, evening, night. Cyclic every 24 hours. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Cyclic every 365 days. Similarly, there's a bigger cycle, and that cycle is Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, Kalyug, which means four phases, four vibrations in the world is a bigger cycle. Now, when we say Kalyug, which means the night of that cycle, Kalyug, no Kala, it's dark, and Kalyug means Kalha Kalesh, lot of pain. Now, Kalyug is becoming even more Kalyug, which means it's getting pitch dark now. And pitch dark means the vices here. That's why the emotional health is very important. Where our purity diminishes, lust, ego, greed, jealousy, this become our predominant nature. That's when Kali Yuga has reached its peak. When we start fighting with each other in the name of religion, Kali Yuga has reached its peak. When when people are not safe at home, even with family, there is abuse within a family. Kali Yuga has reached its peak. So there are a lot of things that Kali Yuga has reached its peak. Then,
Is
of course,
that happening, sister? You think?
this is Kali Yuga is of course reaching its peak. There
Oh,
is no doubt about it. COVID is just a one part of it. COVID is not a sign of Kali Yuga reaching a peak. Our state of mind, it is the soul power which is reached completely, our value system, our principles. But that does not mean the world is coming to an end. The world doesn't come to an end. This Kali Yuga way of living has to come to an end. This
right,
Kalyug thought process has to come to an end. This Kalyug sanskar has to come to an end.
right.
And the Satyug sanskar has to start. So
Exactly.
the night will end and the morning will begin. But we have to create that morning. God doesn't create the morning. God gives us the knowledge to create that morning. We have to create the morning. So sanskar se sansar. Sanskar se sansar. When we change our sanskars, the sansar will change. So
Yes,
we are going to create Satyogi sanskar and we will create a Satyogi sansar. So world doesn't end, world changes. So
right.
there's going to be a paradigm shift in the world, and we all are going to be a part of that world change.
Yes, we'll wait for that. And thank you so much for these answers. I want to now request Professor Ajit Shinde, our president, to please ask a couple of more questions, and then we can open it up to other
Only
speakers.
one question similar to this. Good evening, madam. My question is similar to Parad's question. How do we see this pandemic situation? Is this testing human power, intelligence, and emotions? Or this is a lesson to mankind about how insignificant you are in front of nature?
Uh, why COVID happened, we don't know. But everything is connected with law of karma. COVID is a global karma consequence because it's come to the whole world. One is my karma, my consequence. One is my family. One is my organization. One is the whole world. So COVID is a global karma consequence. So we can't say which karma of ours has created this consequence. Important is to focus on our present karma. If now we learn the right way of thinking, the right way of living, last couple of decades, we have been living only to get more and more and more. We've shifted into getting, and achieving. Our human nature was of giving. It is of giving, it is of caring, it is of sharing, it's of being compassionate to our body, compassionate to people, compassionate to nature. This is our nature. But last few years, we are only मेरे को क्या मिलने वाला है, what am I getting? So we have to shift from only wanting to giving. That is the lesson that we have to learn. Giving is our nature. Giver, we are giver. Look at everything in nature, it's a giver. Everything is giving. The tree is giving, the water is giving. Human being nature is also to give. Somewhere we changed it and we said, I want, and want. And so to change from Kalyug to Satyug is only about shifting from being like this to being like this. And so Satyugi deities, look at all the portraits, all the pictures of our deities. How are the hands shown? They are like this. They are giving. And they are called Devi Devta. Dene wala means being a giver. So all that we need to do is shift to being a giver, and COVID is teaching us to take care of our mind. It's come like a result in front of us. How strong am I emotionally? How healthy am I physically? What is my tolerance level? What is my power to adjust? What is my power to remain calm in a crisis? So it's giving me that sign, and I can now just pick up those signs and start taking care of my mind and body and shift towards healing the mind, healing the body, healing the nature, and beautiful relationships. Together, we will create the beautiful world. That's certain. That is certain.
Fantastic. Shinde sir, any other questions, sir?
Thank you, madam. Actually, you have explained everything regarding our profession. In spite of that I'm asking one question. We as a doctor get lot of information as a best as well as worst outcome in such a situation. As a knowledge and information govern our thoughts, we are bound to get lot of negative thoughts. In spite of, actually, we should have positive. How one can, as you said already, how one can control that negative thoughts and produce
Sure.
positive things.
Perfect. So suppose there is a patient in front of you, and you know the outcome. You know it could be this outcome. You also know that it could be this outcome. You know the best outcome of the patient, but your knowledge also tells you the worst outcome that is possible. This is the information we know. Now, after we know the information, we evaluate the treatment and we start working. But while we are treating and while we are working, we should be working with the thought of only the best outcome as our affirmation. That is it. Those who work with and not just your mind, also the patient's mind working with the best outcome. We all know that in everything, there are some miracles that happen. Even in the healing the body, there are miracles that happen. But the percentage of miracle is very small, and the percentage of normal statistics is very big. Now, what is miracle? What is the difference between miracle and a normal result? A miracle is when the mind thought differently. Maybe the predicted outcome was this will happen, but the mind of the patient or the mind of the doctor said, no, I am going to work on this. This is going to change. This is going to happen like this. And when that patient and when that doctor are 100% convinced, they create a different outcome. And all other doctors around you are going to say, ye to miracle ho gaya. Ye miracle kaise ho gaya? What is a miracle? A miracle is nothing. A miracle is human capacity of the mind to go higher and think that which was not logically the outcome, to think it here and then to create it here. So if we start focusing on those higher vibrational outcomes, our percentage of miracles will increase. Our percentage of miracles will increase. We also tell patients, suppose you give a patient a medicine and then you say, let's say 80% people get acidity after eating this medicine. It's an information. So I get the medicine and I said, doctor said 80% people get acidity after eating this medicine, which means acidity is a side effect of this medicine. Information. But now it is my choice whether I'm going to program my mind to that 80% or I'm going to program my mind to that 20% who did not get acidity after eating that medicine. Not only my body, my mind also plays a role in it. You all know that when patients don't know about side effects, they have lesser side effects. And when they come to know about side effects, they have more side effects. So, what was the side effect? Side effect was supposed to be about the body and the medicine. Why the mind knowing and not knowing made a difference? Because of the information, the thought, and the vibration. And the vibration. So, if that patient, sometimes when the patients don't know the information, their healing happens better because they don't know the information. 50 years back, patients used to not be told about critical things. I remember 50 years, 40 years back, even patients were not told you have cancer, you have this. ऐसे ही उनका इलाज चलता था. They didn't know the disease that they happened. And many of them were able to cope better because they didn't have the information. Now, as I get the information, I have this disease, my fear, my anxiety, I start visualizing a lot of things already. I am talking to people, they don't have COVID. Nobody in their house has COVID, but they start visualizing things because they are seeing visuals of funeral pyres, they are seeing visuals of breathless people in ambulances out. They have started visualizing this. And when they visualize this and suddenly they get a COVID positive report, that's it. They have already visualized themselves on that whole journey which they were watching all those days. This can make simple things complicated. Simple things can get complicated. Even though their COVID was very simple, it would go, get off with all that 5 days medicine, but they started visualizing this will happen, I will not get a hospital, this will happen, I will be breathless. I have people writing to me, what if I die, who will look after my children? And they're not even COVID positive. They're
Right.
not, you see the impact of information. There's the impact of information. So we have as healers the information. You know the information, but focus on the best outcome always and make that your affirmation. Percentage of miracles will increase. We need to increase that statistics of miracles by using the power of the mind. That's where spiritual power can get used.
Right. Fantastic. Shinde sir, any more questions?
Thank you, madam, for enlightening me, all doctors, as well as those other society members who are listening this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we'll go to Dr. Karne sir's question. And after Dr. Karne, then Dr. Prakash. Karne sir, can you put your visual and audio on? If not, then till then, Prakash. Dr. Prakash is...
Karne sir has raised the hand also. So we will give him chance.
Yeah, that's what I announced. Yeah, sir is there.
Yeah.
And I think my video and my audio both were disabled, as well as chat was disabled, so I could not come there. Now the host has enabled that.
Yes,
right. First of all, I thank the Brahma Kumari Shivani ji for a wonderful. I heard her for so many times. Rather, I had attended one mind workshop at Mount Abu in 2017. And BK Sarita is very close to here from my place, and we had many time interaction, and I had visited her place also many times. It is a really a great pathway what you have told, that you have told us the power of the mind. Power of the mind is, if it goes in positive direction, it creates wonders, but at the same time it goes in negative direction, it can crush, or it's like a fire, it destroys everything. And only one comment about the spirituality and the religion is that spirituality is the soul, it's the soul effect, and that soul, it is the, sorry, I just forgot that point, but I just wanted to tell it there, that it is the one, it is the science, actually. Spirituality is a science which takes our soul and it connects it to the Almighty. So it is the absolute one. It can't be different. Science can't be different. It's same for every person. But at the same time, the religion is a concern with the mind, and it's a methodology to connect with the Almighty. And that methodology may change from place to place or from person to person. And that's why that it is a relative. So religion is a relative one, and the spirituality is the absolute one, though both are almost the same. There is a little gray zone between this. That's why I wanted to say. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Karne
Dr.
sir, you have
Sanjay.
any question?
No, no questions because I heard sir so many times and all questions are clear.
Okay,
Dr.
sir.
San, yeah,
It's
I
a very
also have.
comment which you made, Karne sir, and absolutely it's good analysis. Dr.
Yeah.
Prakash, please ask
So
your.
no, I will make only vote of thanks because Sister Shivani's talk was so self-explanatory and so informative that Dr. Sanjay Dhurjad wants to ask you one question. Dr. Sanjay.
Any more questions? Sister has agreed to wait few minutes. So Dr.
Yeah, Sanjay, please.
Ask your question. And Dr. Prakash, if you have a question, you can ask. In 5 minutes, we'll finish the program.
Yeah, I will do vote of thanks, sir.
Yes, I will definitely ask you to do that. Dr. Sanjay is our Vice President, Shivani sister. Yes, Dr.
Okay, actually, there is no, I don't have a question actually, but I just want to add something.
Sure.
That, we have been working in COVID from last almost 1 year. And what you said that the power of the mind is so supreme that you can turn COVID into a very small little thing. I mean, for us, you won't believe that the whole team has been working for almost a year now, 11 months it is now. And everybody is so fearless just because they think that this illness is not life-threatening. Apart from the mask, right now we don't use any PP kits. We go to the patients, we treat them passionately, and everybody is so confident about their treatment and their own health that there's no fear in any of the staff members and even the doctors. So that is really what you said, that what your mind thinks, what the thoughts are, it becomes a thing.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we are experiencing that. And thank you for enlightening us for in everything what you said. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I have one last question for you, Shivani sister, and then we close the event with a vote of thanks from Dr. Prakash. Ma'am, you have enlightened us. You have told us everything. But now I have one question. You know, sometimes when doctors fall ill and we don't go to our OPD, the patients tell us, "You're a doctor. How can you fall ill? You have no right to fall ill." So, ma'am, if you tomorrow have some stress, some emotions, what is your way to deal with this? As doctors, you know, we are not supposed to fall ill. So as a healer, as a spiritual guru, you cannot have stress, ma'am. But in case you have, what do you do?
Yeah. It's not that you cannot have stress. In a day-to-day interaction, the only thing is that when it's like, suppose you're a doctor, no? When you will get the first symptom of something and you're aware, you will be able to heal yourself faster. You know, if you're aware of your body, you will get the first symptom and you will know why it is happening and what it is happening. But me as a layperson will not understand that first symptom in my body. I will not know what I have to do. So you're knowledgeable as far as the body is concerned and you can treat yourself faster. Now, similarly, with a little practice and seeing the mind every day and meditating, I'm able to see my thoughts, which means I'm aware of my thinking. So if something happens and I create a thought which I know is not the right thought, even a simple thing like you said, I should have been able to do this. If I would have done this little more, this could have been the outcome, even during COVID. Now, this is a thought. Now, the only thing is when I create this thought, I'm able to see that I have created the thought that minute itself when I create that thought. And then I will pause and I will consciously change that thought then and there. Then and there. So that thought is getting still created, but it will get created and it will get changed then and there. And earlier, if I'm not aware, I will create it and I will go on thinking like this, and then it builds up into stress. But if you change it then and there, it's not getting accumulated as stress. It's a thought which comes, we work on it and we change it.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Shinde, sir, wants to say something.
Dr. Govardhan has one question.
Yes.
Dr. Shinde, sir.
Actually, I want to conclude and give a message regarding this. Should we give chance to English?
Yeah, Dr. Govardhan can ask one question. Then you can conclude and Dr. Prakash will give the vote. Last question.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving me a chance. It's a tight schedule. Thank you, madam. It was a very nice talk. I just want to ask a common man question. Since childhood, we have been trained to do good karma so that we can land up in heaven, kind of. But now what the deaths, what we are saying, we have seen really very good people who are working in a society doing very good job, but they are landing up in problem, and ultimately they are passing away. So any comment on that?
Passing away is not a result of a bad karma. This thing we need to remember. So
Okay.
it's just that everyone has a time for which they will be in this body, right? So if my time is of 80 years, I will leave after 80 years. If my time is of 100 years, I will leave after 100 years. My time is my karmic account with this set of people in this role. If I leave early, which means I thought I should leave at 100 or 80, but suppose I left at 50 or I left at 40, or right now people are leaving at 30, it doesn't mean that that soul had done any wrong karma. That's why they've left early. It's just that their karmic account with these people in this role was of 30 years. Now they're going to continue with that karma and their sanskars in the next body, in the next body, in their next destiny. So our going and coming does not mean that we have done any good karma or bad karma because of which we are leaving early or we are leaving late. The quality of our life, the quality of our life is dependent on our karma. The way I live is also dependent on my karma. Was my death easy for me, or was my death a very big struggle for me? Was I able to leave my body with ease because I am not attached to everything? Or was I not able to leave my body even though my body had, it's finished, but the soul is not able to leave the body? All that is a part of my karma, but not the timing. The timing does not say that I am a good karma or bad karma. I
Fantastic.
have some other role to play with another place, with another family. So I have to move forward and go there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sister
Thank you.
Shivani.
Thank
I
you.
will now request Professor Ajit Shinde to give his closing comments before the vote of thanks by Dr. Prakash. Professor Ajit Shinde, sir, please. I think his image is frozen. He will come back. Till then, Dr. Prakash, you can propose a vote of thanks, and then he's here.
Yeah.
Ajit Shinde, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Can you
Shinde, sir,
hear?
yes, we can hear you now. Please give your
Huh.
concluding
That
remarks.
was a really fantastic. It's an enlightenment for each individual tuned to this program right now. And this is not just for the COVID pandemic period, but this was a lifelong lesson for us. And I already feel lightened. I must say, Sister Shivani has given new perspective of life. Thank you once again for taking your precious time to guide us. Also, I like to thank Dr. Parag, my team, and OrthoTV people for this nice program.
Thank you,
So
sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much. May I request
yeah.
Dr. Prakash to propose the final vote of thanks?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sister Shivani. It was really an eye-opener and enlightening talk for all of us, not even doctors, but for even society also. And we are thankful to you for giving your precious time for our association, and you are the part of our grand celebration of Foundation Week. And this was a concluding ceremony, so it cannot be concluded better than this. That is what we think. And I'm thankful to Dr. Parag Sancheti sir for bringing Sister Shivani on the MOA platform and enlightening us. I'm thankful to our President Dr. Shinde sir, Honorary Secretary Dr. Karne sir, and my Dr. Sanjay Dhurjad, who was a co-chairman with me, and my entire executive committee for helping us to plan the MOA week programs. I am thankful to all those who have helped directly or indirectly in making this MOA week program successful, because we planned 7 programs and we could make it to 9 with the help of all people, and all the speakers were of the international quality, and I thank all of them, those who are faculty for this. I thank all of them, and I once again thank you, all of you who are watching this program live on OrthoTV. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shivani sister. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Ji. Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
everybody. Dr. Rujuta Mehta has said that all of us together should say that the pandemic will end soon, so it will manifest that way. On that affirmation, we will end today's program. Thank you, Rujuta, for that thought. And thank you, everybody. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Ashok, we can end the program.
Yes, sir.